Hello, everybody. This is Charles Myambo, and I'm here to give you a synopsis of what I learned during my interview with Tayo Aina over on the Hype magazine. Feel free to check the link in the description below, which has a full interview that I had with Tayo Aina on the Hype magazine. There's several things that I learned about Tayo Aina. Perhaps the things that stood out to me the most being that he's an African purist, being that he's highly persistent, as well as that he is very ambitious. So let's start with what I mean by saying that he's an African purist. In a time and in a society where it has become extremely prevalent for the African youth to be searching for pastures anew, to be trying to get visas, Diana stands out as being highly different. He does not try to get a visa. He's never tried to get a visa, in fact. And he's tried to double down on the opportunities that are available within Nigeria and Africa as a continent. This is something that Teo believes devoutly, that the opportunities for the African youth, the best opportunities for the African youth, lie within the continent of Africa. Let's move on to what I'm saying about him being highly persistent. Then we'll touch on why I believe he is extremely ambitious. So, to understand his persistence, you need to look at his track record. Let's go back to when he was in university, and all this is highlighted in the interview. When he was in university, he tried to have a business, the first being a restaurant business called Mr. Macaroni. That didn't work out too well for the man. After 7 months, things had gone sour and he had to stop the business. But he had given it his all. He is highly persistent. To be able to keep a business going for 7 months while trying to balance that with academics is indicative of a person who has a very high drive and who's extremely persistent. Well, if that was not convincing enough of how persistent Tayo Aina is, once his first business venture had failed, he didn't stop there. He tried to do the next thing. So he attempted to have a 9 to 5 job to generate some income. During that time, it became extremely evident to him that he was not meant for a 9 to 5. He knew that he was an entrepreneur and that he could not stand punching in 9 to 5, clocking out. So he moved on to the next thing. And the next thing at that point in time was Uber, which had just rolled out in Nigeria. He reckoned he could make a few extra bucks while he was doing that, and he did. He was waiting for his next opportunity, anticipating his next opportunity, and that came in the form of content creation. It took just a moment where Taylor had a post on Instagram. He saw a lot of overwhelming appreciation and support from peers, friends, and family. And he thought to himself, well, hang on a minute. I could actually really do this. So he had a bit of a metamorphosis, right? And he decided, I will go and do this. I will double down on this. The rest is history. Tayo Aina now has one of the foremost channels in Africa, one of the biggest content creators on the continent of Africa, one of the most positively impactful African content creators. He has a staggering amount of followers on his platform, almost 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. He has interviewed billionaires, he's interviewed multi-millionaires, he's interviewed moguls, tycoons, you name it. He's done very big things. And there's a lot I could say about Tayo Aina, but let's just circle back to everything I've been saying so we can wrap this up. What I learned about Tayo Aina is that he is an African purist. He is highly persistent, and he is extremely ambitious, among other things. But those are the three things that stood out to me during the interview. Remember, do check the full interview below in the description on the Hype magazine. This was what I learned interviewing Tayo Aina. Cheers.